Welcome to today's Explainer, 8th graders. I am absolutely thrilled to be with you today because we're about to tackle something that's going to totally transform the way you read. We are moving way past those simple, basic book summaries, and we're going to learn how to turn reading into a deep, meaningful conversation between you and the author. You know, we read all the time, right? But reading isn't just about dragging your eyes across a page and then repeating facts back to me for a grade. Not at all. It's actually about connection. So today, we're going to unlock a completely new academic skill: writing a powerful personal response.
But first, I want you to really think about this for a second. Has a book ever actually changed your perspective? Seriously, think back to a time you read something. Maybe it was a huge fantasy novel, a short story, or honestly, even just an article you scrolled past online that felt like it was written exactly and exclusively for you. Like, how did the author know? It acted almost like a mirror, right? Reflecting your own life, your own private struggles, or your wildest dreams right back at you. Well, that specific moment of connection, that is the absolute heart of reading for meaning.
Okay, here's our lesson plan for today. First, we'll cover finding your unique voice. Second, the perfect balance. Third, seeing it in action. Fourth, your reading mission. And finally, the godly learner.
Let's jump right into Section 1, Finding Your Unique Voice, and why your perspective actually matters.
So it's totally crucial to understand that reading on a deeper level is not just about summarizing the plot. Look, a summary is just telling me what happened. The boy went to the store. The dog ran away. Yeah, we get it. That's the plot. But a personal response? That is an entirely different ballgame. It's about reflecting on what the text means to you personally. Your specific, totally unique perspective adds immense value to the conversation about any text we read in class. Think about it. No two 8th graders in our room bring the exact same life experiences to a book. Because of that, your unique interpretation can actually help the rest of us see something completely new. You bring something to the table that literally no one else can.
And you know what? Our foundation for this isn't just some English class rule, it's deeply spiritual. It's found right in Psalm 119, verse 15, which says, "I will meditate on your precepts and fix my eyes on your ways." Meditating on words, thinking about them deeply, really chewing on them, this is a profoundly biblical practice. When we write a personal response, we're basically practicing this kind of meditation. We're slowing down, we're taking a breath, we are turning the text we read into windows for God's truth, allowing the words to shape our hearts and our minds exactly like the psalmist did.
Moving right along to Section 2, The Perfect Balance, where we look at blending you and the author together.
So how do we actually build this response paragraph? Well, we use a very specific academic blueprint, and it takes 3 vital steps. Step 1, you start with a clear reaction. When you read the passage, how did it actually make you feel? Did you feel a sense of agreement, sadness, inspiration, maybe just pure curiosity? Whatever it is, name that feeling right out of the gate. Step 2, you explain why, by connecting it to your own life or to something happening in the world around you right now. And Step 3, you absolutely must link it back to the text. Point to specific quotes, themes, or events that caused your reaction in the very first place.
Now, the secret ingredient to an amazing response is balance. It's like a recipe. You want to aim for a perfect split, roughly 50% personal reflection and 50% text-based evidence. You have to avoid making it entirely about you. Remember, this isn't a private diary entry. But on the flip side, you also have to avoid making it entirely about the text without sharing your own perspective. Because if you do that, well, you're just back to writing a boring old summary. Balance is quite literally everything here.
Let's move to Section 3, Seeing it in action, with some worked examples. Let's consider 3 different scenarios to see exactly what this balanced blueprint looks like in real life. Let's say a student is responding to a novel about a sick parent. Notice how they connect the character's duty directly to their own mother's sacrifices. They wrote, "This scene made me think about my own family sacrifices. It reminded me of when my mom paused her career to care for my grandmother." Do you see how perfectly that balances text evidence with profound personal reflection? It's brilliant. Or consider a poetry example. The student reads about the passing of seasons and connects the imagery of falling leaves to moments in their own life when change felt kind of bittersweet. Finally, think about an article. A student reads about teen climate activism and reflects on how it actively inspires them to take action right in their own local community. Every single one of these beautifully follows our 3-step blueprint.
All right, that brings us to Section 4, Your Reading Mission. This is your homework for the week. Grab a pen, 8th graders, because here is your checklist, and I want you to keep this handy as you write. Requirement 1,
write a one-paragraph response to any text you've read this week. Requirement 2, include at least one personal connection. Requirement 3, use one direct quote from the reading to back up your point. Requirement 4, identify a specific part of the text that actually changed your perspective. And Requirement 5, write one question you would ask the author if they were sitting right next to you at a coffee shop. Make sure you hit every single one of these 5 requirements, guys. Doing this faithfully week after week is how you build a lifelong habit of rock-solid critical thinking.
And finally, we arrive at Section 5, The Godly Learner, Why Wisdom is Above Knowledge.
Romans chapter 8, verses 6 and 7 reminds us, "For to be carnally minded is death, but to be spiritually minded is life and peace." This scripture is deeply, deeply relevant to how we analyze literature. Think about it. When we read, we aren't just looking to cram our heads full of random facts so we can pass a test on Friday. If we approach learning just to puff ourselves up and look smart, well, that's being carnally minded. Instead, keeping the mind spiritually minded leads to life and peace. We want to process absolutely everything we read through the crystal clear lens of God's truth.
And this is exactly why HeroesMart Academy intertwines biblical morality with education. Because, frankly, education without morality can hurt. Knowledge and intelligence on their own aren't enough. They should help you make wise, God-honoring, righteous choices, rather than simply making you a more capable person. As Romans 8 teaches us, keeping the mind spiritually minded leads to true life and peace. So, as you develop these incredible critical thinking skills this year, I strongly encourage you to pursue absolute academic excellence while keeping your mind totally centered on God, truth, wisdom, and making righteous choices.
So, I'm going to leave you with this final, provocative thought. What will God reveal to you in your reading this week? As you tackle your reading mission, keep your mind wide open, seek out the truth, and let your personal response become a beautiful, honest reflection of the wisdom He shares with you. I literally cannot wait to read what you guys write. Have an amazing week of reading, 8th graders. You're going to do great.